We had dropped her off close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. Sorry.
On Sunday, February 25th, 2024, Madeline Soto celebrated her 13th birthday with her family, and the very next day, she mysteriously went missing. 5 days later, Madeline's lifeless body was found off the side of the road. Her mother's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, was the last person with Madeline, and after an interview with Channel 9, he went from a grieving stepfather to the prime suspect. So let's talk about it. 13-year-old Madeline Soto was a student at Hunters Creek Middle School in Town Loop Boulevard in Orlando, Florida. Maddie was described as a sweet and lovely girl and overall a good girl who stayed out of trouble. She lived in an apartment in Kissimmee, Florida with her mother Jen Soto and her mother's longtime boyfriend, 37-year-old Stephan Sterns. So it was just the three of them. Madeline recently turned 13 years old on Thursday, February 22nd, and she had a birthday party on Sunday, February 25th with her friends and family in her home. And then on Monday, February 26th, the very next day, Maddie went missing. So the story that Maddie's mother and her boyfriend have told is a little shaky. Jen first told investigators that on the morning of Monday, February 26th at 8:30 a.m., Stephan took Maddie to school, just the two of them, and that the last conversation that she had with her daughter was the night before. Stephan said that on their way to school, Maddie slept in the car the entire time, and that he dropped her off at this church only a few blocks away from her school. The name of this church is Peace United Methodist Church. He says that Maddie asked to be dropped off at this church because it wasn't too far from her school and she wanted to walk the rest of the way. Stephan says that this Monday morning was like any other school day. She got out of the car, they said goodbye, he said I love you, she said I love you too, and then she went off. Then at around 4:00 p.m. on that same day, Maddie's mother went to pick up Maddie from school, but she couldn't find her. She called her phone and there was no answer. Maddie's mother then drove around the area to look for her, couldn't find her, and then she decided to take the same route that Maddie would take if she were to go home by herself, and still there was no sign of Maddie. Maddie's mother said that she then went to her mother's work, which is Maddie's grandma. Her work office is located really close to Maddie's school. So she went to see if maybe Maddie walked over to her grandma's work and looked for her there. But again, Maddie was not there. That's when Jen emailed Maddie's school and she was told that Maddie never made it to school that day. Jen said that this is when she knew something was terribly wrong, so she called police. On the next day, on Tuesday, February 27th, Channel 9 interviewed both Maddie's mother and her boyfriend, Stephan. And they both gave a rundown of what happened on the day Maddie went missing. And I kid you not, this interview gave me chills because something didn't seem right. Jen began going over the details of that morning, and the story that was given initially was that Stephan alone took Maddie to school. Well, Jen changed that story and said that they both took her to school on that morning. Then in that same interview, she changed her story again and said that Stephan took her to school. So which one is it? If Jen was not being truthful here, then she definitely forgot to be consistent with her lies. And I know everyone processes emotions differently. Some people get more emotional than others, but I didn't see a single tear from Maddie's mother or her boyfriend. And this is the part that got me. Only 1 minute into this interview, you can actually see Maddie's mother laughing and smirking. I don't understand how someone can be laughing during such a hard time, even if something is funny. And just knowing that my child is missing, there's no way I can sit there and laugh about anything. It's clear that she was trying to hold in her laughter, and I was shocked when I saw that. Now, throughout the rest of the interview, Maddie's mother looks more nervous and scared than she does devastated or sad.
She was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school, on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away. around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
And if you guys have watched this interview, let me know what you think. Am I reading too much into this? So when this investigation began, they said that they found surveillance footage of what seemed like Maddie in front of the church on that Monday morning. So they're thinking, okay, if Maddie was dropped off in front of this church only a few blocks away from her school, where did she go? Was she kidnapped or did she maybe run away? Something important to note is that Maddie forgot her phone at home that day as well. And Maddie's mother emphasized that this is very normal of Maddie to do. Apparently, she forgets her phone at home all the time because she has ADHD.
From time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD, her memory. She's very forgetful.
Then, of course, investigators went through Maddie's phone and were looking for any clues. Maybe she texted someone where she was going. They were trying to find out where Maddie was. That's when they found text messages where Maddie told her friends that she wanted to live in the woods after her 13th birthday. And that seems pretty unusual to me. We don't know exactly when this message was sent out, but if it was sent out on the day before she went missing or on the day she went missing, then something seems suspicious. It might have not been her. So after investigators read these messages, they began their search in the woods behind her school. And they looked everywhere for Maddie. But again, there was no sign of her anywhere. Now, this part is also insane. During this time, Maddie's mother does another interview. But this time, it's with Fox. And she's retelling the moments leading up to Maddie's disappearance. You can actually see Stephan in the background of this interview, and his demeanor is so strange. He's clearly very fidgety and aggressively cracking his knuckles and just looked extremely nervous.
After school, and she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking
A body language expert assessed his behavior and confirmed that he looks very off and mentioned that Stephan should be looked into more closely.
All right, the first question is if I can get your first and last name and spell them both out for me.
Stephan Sterns, Stephan Sterns.
All right, so Stephan, you seem very emotional.
So as you can see, his eyes are very red, his eyes are bloodshot. This is going to become a focal point of this interview, but I just wanted to point out, if you didn't notice that, his eyes do appear to be a bit glazed over right now.
Right now, explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked...
He said you seem to be very, very emotional right now. Explain it to us. He immediately started in on the narrative of what happened that day. So rather than talking about the fact that his family's having a tough time, rather than talking about what he was asked about, he clearly has something that he wants to talk about. So he actually ignored the question and just started talking about what he wanted to say. In addition to that, you noticed a big sigh. Watch this right here.
You seem very emotional. Right now, explain to us.
I dropped her off.
So that big sigh before he's saying he dropped her off. We tend to do that as a way to relieve stress. We need to take in more oxygen when we're feeling stressed out, so that big breath out can oftentimes be a way to try to calm ourselves down. So he's just trying to calm himself down, talking about what happened that day.
Following this, Maddie's belongings, such as her laptop and her backpack, were found in the same dumpster of her apartment complex. They looked at surveillance footage facing the dumpster, and guess who they saw throwing her things in there at 7:30 in the morning on Monday, February 26th. Yep. It was Stephan, her mother's boyfriend. You probably knew it all along, and I guessed it too. They then saw on surveillance that on that Monday morning, the day Maddie went missing, at 8:19 a.m., Stephan returned to the apartment and Madeline appeared to be inside his car, but it's believed that she was already deceased at this point. This is when detectives began focusing on Stephan and went through his phone. But after taking his phone, they noticed that everything was deleted. When they asked him why was everything deleted on his phone, he said that he accidentally deleted it separated the same day that Maddie went missing. If that isn't the biggest red flag. Luckily, they were able to recover everything on his phone, and the things that they found in there were so disturbing. They found photos and videos of naked body parts, which was of Maddie. And get this, these photos and videos date back to August 2022, meaning that Stephan has been preying on Maddie and doing who knows what else to her since the age of 11, and probably even earlier than that, which I can't even imagine what this little girl was going through all these years by the hands of this disgusting man. And finally, on Wednesday, February 28th, Stephan was arrested for sexual battery and possession of child SA material and named the prime suspect. When Stephan was brought in for questioning and was pressed to tell investigators where Maddie was, he quickly asked for an attorney and didn't say a word. Then on March 1st, after days of searching for Maddie, her lifeless body was found off in Osceola County in Hickory Tree Road in a wooded area. Maddie was wearing the same clothes that she was wearing that morning, which was a green sweatshirt, black shorts, and white Crocs. Stephan is still in the county jail with no bond, and he also refused to go to his first court appearance on Thursday and again on Monday. Now, this part really upset me, and I still have no idea how this happened, but a photo of Maddie's lifeless body was posted on social media. Apparently, it was accidentally leaked and it was posted on the sheriff's Instagram account. They did remove it right away, but how do you make a mistake like that? So many people saw it and people were really upset about this. Now, these are all the details that we have so far on this case. I'm sure more information will be released as the days go by. I've been following this case every single day and there's always something new coming out. Now, I'm going to tell you guys my opinions and also the comments that I've been seeing all over social media. I honestly think that Maddie's mother knew something. She was either well aware of what Maddie was dealing with at home with her boyfriend and decided to ignore it, or she found out what her boyfriend did after the fact and decided to help him cover it up. Obviously, I could be wrong, but I say this because during the interviews, she just looked so suspicious. Either she gets very nervous in front of the camera or she had something to do with this and knows more than what she's saying, because she did not look like a grieving mother at all. Like I said, I did not see a single tear from her. She lacked emotions and looked more scared than sad. And when fear takes over your body, you naturally act different. I've seen tons of interviews of parents when their child goes missing and their demeanor is so different. But in this case with Madeline's mother, I just don't see it. The public is furious and they are blaming Maddie's mother for allowing this man to live with them. People really think that Maddie's mother knew what was going on. It's crazy that this man had inappropriate videos and photos of Maddie on his phone and Maddie's mother did not suspect a thing. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. And let's not forget the inconsistent stories that she was constantly telling. This case is so sad and I truly thought that Maddie was going to be found. I really feel for this girl and I hope she's resting in peace. So what do you guys think about this case? I would love to hear your opinions and also hear any other information that I possibly missed. Other than that, that is all we have for today's video. I know that a lot more information will be released as the days go by, so I may even do another video with more updates. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more updates on this case. Also follow my social medias if you want to keep up with me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.